Hello lovely people, my name's Andy Woolley and in this video we're going to look at my affiliate journey during the month of September. So let's jump over onto the presentation and you can see I put it in a format to try and make it easy and digestible. So as you'll see here, I've listed the first website, which is obviously my in the gardening niche. Quite an interesting month, September, lots of chopping and changing. Predominantly I did a lot of housekeeping. The gardening niche one now, we're actually at month 6 out of the Google sandbox. You can see that to the prior month we had 429 users. Now we went up to 697. So whilst we're out of season, it's quite heartening to see that we are actually engaging with more users. The content is obviously, it's hitting the market, it's indexing, ranking, and therefore drawing in more and more of an audience, which is great. So that gives me the impetus to keep pushing hard and heavy going forward. As you see here, the tasks that I completed during the month of September, I increased the word count on the site by just over 56,000. That predominantly was split between 5 posts, not a big achievement by all accounts. I didn't do any buyer's guides, and that's purely because, as you know, in August, I lost my Amazon Associates account because I didn't make those 3 qualifying sales within the 160 days. But then I got it straight back in September. I worked hard and lo and behold, I made 3 sales in 1 month. It can turn on a coin. It's quite literal. Actually, I made 8 sales, which is quite heartening. Not massive money, but hey ho, it all adds to the pot. Now, as most of you will already know, if you subscribe to the channel, if you're not, please do subscribe to the channel so I can keep you updated. Click that notification button and therefore I can keep you up to date with these updates. You will know that I do this part-time. I don't do this full-time like a lot of good affiliate marketers out there. I do this around a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I do it in evenings and weekends, and I actually teach on evenings as well, so it does make it a bit of a challenge, but it's all possible. And the other caveat and the rhyme and reason I do it as a case study is I do not use any content writers or VAs at the moment. I might in the future, as I have in the past, but for the moment going forward on these particular affiliate sites, I want to keep it as transparent and honest as possible so you can mirror it if you so wish to create either an income that you're looking to replace your main role or looking for a side hustle. That's kind of what I'm doing. I mean, I'm happy with what my jobs are, but likewise, it's nice to have this as something to fall back on, a bit more security, as it were. So that said, I spend a budget. I keep a very limited budget to make sure this works. I spend no more than £250 a month, which is spread between obviously my hosting, my domain names, and the several licenses, i.e. Dreams Time for my images, so they're always copyright free, and then any sort of AI copywriting tool, Jarvis being my main one. Anyway, right, let me crack on back into the presentation. So as you can see here, I added around about 10,000 words. I did an FAQ section. Not vitally important, but what I felt is that some of the keywords that I was researching or the phrases I was researching regarding the particular garden niche I'm looking at didn't really warrant a blog. They were too short, too precise, and I didn't want to pad it. And I think that's the faux pas in any sort of content writing, is answer the intent of what the reader wanted. If you do that, then there's no rhyme and reason to keep waffling by all accounts. So I naturally thought I've got an accumulation of these ones. An FAQ would be good, and then link them back, do some contextual or internal linking to the particular pages. It will provide me with more organic reach in time anyway, because it'll improve my ranking. So I did that. That was 10,000 words on that. I've actually started building out to a few of the other particular weeds that I look at. I also then had a section of 13,000 words that were unpublished, lots of draft posts. So I thought I'd better start working through some of those. So I reduced that down by 2,000. The other thing I did, which sort of sort of put a halt on my content writing for about a week, is I thought I needed to do some housekeeping. I wasn't happy with elements of the website that needed tweaking, and I think that's important. You always need to be aware that when a reader comes on there, yes, they're coming on there for the information and the content, but it's nice to have a good experience. And I think a good experience only comes about by having a good UX, user experience, from the way it's designed. So the aesthetics are important. What sort of compounded that as well is Ezoic is not a fan of Elementor, which the site is. The site is built with Astra as a theme and Elementor as the page builder. And whilst I got the speed reasonable through GTmetrix, I thought, okay, let's go all in. Let's spend a weekend. Let's play with a couple of recommendations. They recommended obviously Gutenberg with its additional add-on blocks. Aveda, which I used many years ago, which does surprise me because it almost is like a page builder. And then Cadence. So I mirrored the same homepage across each one of those, then run the speed tests, and you know what I found? Didn't make a blind bit of difference. Not a bit, which surprised me, but not surprised me at the same time, because I've been working with Elementor a good number of years. You can optimize it quite well if you know how to. So the only good part about that time that I invested in it is I became a fan of Cadence. So I have implemented that on my other sites. More of that later on. So I was hoping to reach 150 posts in total. I was shy, literally with one. There's 149 on there. The other thing that I'm doing as well, because the intention, always know the intention or goals of your particular website, is I always wanted this to be a lead generation site. Whilst I've got the informational ads from Ezoic and I've got Amazon Associates for selling some products, those were never the two go-tos for me. It was always going to be a lead generation site. So that said, I've got a couple of leads that have already come in. I need to convert those. So I need some landing pages and the respective information or the infrastructure put in place. So I'm kind of going to work on that hard and heavy in October. I did put some drafts together, but they're not quite ready yet. End of October, it'd be nice to know they'll be there, and hopefully ahead of this, when the season kicks in, which will be March and April, they'll have been indexed and ranking reasonably well. They should hopefully start converting some traffic for me, and that's where the ka-ching is for me then. Anyway, moving on. So that's the overview of what I did on my main site. Just give you a quick overview then on the Search Console, give it some transparency so you can see what's happening. In August, I had 791 clicks. And in September, that jumped up to just over 1,000. What is quite nice when I look at this over a longer time frame, say 3 or 6 months, I can see that the clicks and the impressions, there's a nice tight correlation between the two. Now, the importance for that is it will tell you that from your keyword research, the intent of what you're writing in the articles is actually being served up to what the user is searching for. And that's reassuring. So now I can see those keywords under the performance, under Search Console, what's resonating, and that tells me the things I'm going to be ranking for. Some of them long tail keywords, easier to rank for, but a few of them are quite hard to rank for, and those are the ones I'm really after. So now I know I'm hitting the intent, I can ramp up my my content and my structure a little bit more. Hence the reason doing things like FAQs. And then the last one on this then, just to give you some sort of context on the stats and the monies. Everybody likes to show me the money. The last 6 months there, as you can see here, the domain authority has gone up to 14 and remained there for the moment. As I said, didn't push hard and heavy into the strategic content I need to. I'll do more of that now in October. The posts, I'm totaling at 149, but there's many more to write on that. I'm not exhausted by any stretch of the imagination within this niche. Whilst it seems gardening niche is a very general one, the actual area I'm looking at is not. It's very specific. The word count, as you can see, has steadily increased, and that's got a long way to go for where I want it to be. Keywords, happily, they're moving forward, which is nice when you consider that I don't expect to be seeing more and more traffic month in, month out. Because it is seasonal, but it's heartening to see it, which is, reassuring, and also then proves the principle that the time and the effort you put in is an investment because the value of the website go up. Hence the reason in this column I look at the amount of traffic that comes through SEMrush, and SEMrush I've used for about 10 years. It's a reliable tool by all accounts, more so for keywords, and also then the cost of those keywords to rank for, which give me an idea that the value of the site is improving as well. As I said, I was fortunate enough, I got my Amazon Associates account back and managed to convert some of the sales to get the qualifying 3 that were required. That unlocked the the API for the AAWP plugin, which I'm going to also play with now in October, because I think, as I've mentioned to you before, I'm not happy with the way that my buyer's guides are. I don't, whilst they're like 4,000 or 5,000 words and they're in depth and they just don't have an aesthetic look that I would find if I was coming on that page, I would be happy to read. So there's a long way to go there. We're working on it. But it was heartening to see that I made £2.80 in sales. Now, I convert everything from dollars to pounds. Why? Because I'm in the UK. And this is a little bit out of the norm. The UK is a better market in this particular niche than the American market. Okay. So looking on the Ezoic, then you can see steadily the visits increased there. So it's good to have 2 points of reference, what we call in marketing statistical confidence. So that way they can trust your data a little bit more if you're using the same sources and then using them over and over again, but not just one source, multiple sources. So whilst I use SEMrush, Ezoic gives me a fair idea, and even Search Console would too, or Google Analytics, whichever you favor. The earnings. Now, again, I did play, as I said, I did a lot of housekeeping in September. I did play an awful lot with Ezoic. I followed Sean Mars's video. I will leave a link in the description below, where he shows you really how to play with the Ezoic plugin and do the placeholders, and thoroughly enjoyed that. And I played with that quite a few weekends. What I found, less is more. Less is more when it comes to the EMPV. That definitely increased. As you can see there, it has increased now to $5.03. That's not massive, but considering where we are on out of season, as I've said, and that the traffic is slowly increasing, I think the value or the context of the adverts to the context of the content on the page, hopefully that makes sense, is getting stronger. And that is important. That's a key aspect when you do any website, is know the intent of the website and mirror that intent as strong as possible. Because if you know what the reader's coming on there for, then, and you've served that up obviously through the content, seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how people go off on tangents because they're padding content on times, then it does reflect back into the analytics and the page views and the sessions and how they go through multiple pages. All that is read by obviously the likes of Ezoic as well, and they're improving then the quality of the ads going on my website. Now, as some of you already know, I'm not really bothered by how small the breadcrumbs at the moment in monetary terms, but I wanted to start the ball rolling early to show you from an honest, over-the-shoulder approach what can be achieved and how we're getting there. Really, all I need to focus on is the numbers of growing the audience. Do the due diligence with the content, grow the audience, and obviously the knock-on effect will be there for the informational ads and the Amazon associates, and hopefully then the leads as well. So I've added another column into the last part, just as a cumulative total, just to give me an idea of how much the website's earned to date, which is, you know, only just over £15. But it will give me an idea where I balance the books in another 6 to 12 months' time, when I know if I've pumped in just shy of £250 per month on it, what I've got to cover and where the value of the site is. So that's my first site, thoroughly enjoying it. And I do, you know, there's some parts I don't enjoy, like the buyer's guides, but they're necessary. But I do enjoy researching the informational articles and building out the website by all accounts. So moving on to my second one, which I can be transparent with you and tell you the domain name. It is spicesplate.com. This one, obviously, I bought from Carl Broadbent, great UK affiliate marketer. Please do follow him. Again, the link is in the description below. Very insightful. Hopefully what I'm trying to do, as has been done to me, is inspire you, because watching people like Alex, Sean Mars, Amelia Gardner, Nick from Safari, and Carl, you learn so much about this industry, but you've got to walk it. You've got to have a website and put it into practice and really understand the mechanics of it. And that said as well, again, I'll put the link in the description. They've got an affiliate gathering next year, May the 20th in York. Heartily recommend going there. And if anybody wants to reach out to me beforehand and meet me up there, give me a shout. So on this one, it's very brief. There is zero traffic. We're that early at the moment. We're only in month 3. Tasks, I simply replaced the theme. I put Cadence in there. I did like it. I love the simplicity and the feel of that. And again, as a social experiment, it'd be interesting to see how this pans out in time. Goals, obviously, just, keeping it realistic. I do want to put some ads on there. I have put it into the eSaleWake platform. I have not put any placeholders on there yet. Bit pointless, not enough content for the moment, but I'm hoping to get 50 posts on there by the end of the year. Looking at the stats and the money, obviously there's no money to speak of, but the stats, we're up to 16 posts. The domain authority actually went down because no love has really been given to it. And we're up to 17,000 or just over 17,000 words on there. But it was heartening to see keywords. So it meant that those 6 additional posts and the 10 that I've optimized are now starting to rank for keywords. And that's important. So again, like I mentioned in my first affiliate site, it's knowing the intent of the reader, doing your keyword research and making sure it's on the money, then mirroring that within your content, and then rinse and review. So I'm constantly doing that all the time to know that the time and the effort I put in is invested, it's not wasted. So that's heartening to see that. And the traffic, yeah, nothing there to write home about yet. But, this is a case of watch this space and let's see how it goes over the next 6 to 12 months. And I've got a nice comfortable format here now, so I'm just going to follow this sort of pattern going forward. Into the last site then, which is my health one. Again, I can't show you the domain name. It's quite a specific niche. It's quite broad when it comes to categories, but already it's starting to gain the traction. It's only month 3 here, but I did put a lot of content into this to start with, but I've still got a long way to go. I think is from my keyword research, I could probably write in excess of 10,000 blogs quite easily. There's a lot of health conditions in this one particular category that reinforce it, and that's kind of what I'm going to work on. But it's a 12 to 24 month project. I'm not expecting to jump out the gates fast. If anything, September almost broke me. It was a busy month in work, between clients and the teaching and everything else. So then trying to do this outside of it was a big ask. So I concentrated on the housekeeping for peace of mind. And now this point going forward, I'm happy how things are looking. I really need to push hard and heavy into the content. So again, I replaced that with Cadence, quite like that. I implemented it onto the Zoic platform, but I'm not going to run the ads yet because there's sufficiently not enough visitors there. Let's just keep focused onto the content. My aim by the end of the year was 450 posts. That's not going to happen. I've got to be a realist here. It's nice to set goals, but then realizing where I get pulled back because of the 9 to 5. I think if I can do 200 posts, I'd be more than happy. So let's look at the figures. Last slide here. Again, you can see the number of posts. I'm up to 75 posts. That's not too bad. But I only managed to do 3 in September. Word count's up to 91,000. Keywords now are increasing as well. So again, happy days. Is telling me that the intent is on the money and we're starting to move in the right direction. And these aren't just piffly keywords that you will naturally acquire just from writing content. These are keywords that I definitely want, either long tail or more towards the head tail keywords that I need, but they're moving in the right direction. And that's the important. So it means that every time I write a blog, I'm going to see that little more win, another little win, another little win, and that cumulative value will give me what I'm after overall. So that's it. Just wanted to give you a quick brief update on the 3. I'm just going to keep doing this rinse and repeat each month. If you've got any questions, do put them in the comments below. I do read each one of them, and I've welcomed every single comment that's come back on the videos to date, and they do help me, spur me forward, and then give me sort of insight. And also, your opinion does matter. Again, I do thoroughly want to commend the people that I follow, and I put all their links below, but hopefully I'm inspiring you to do exactly the same. Mine is slightly different. I'm a limited budget. I'm doing it around 9 to 5, and I'm trying to do a small portfolio here. Hopefully that's enough to inspire you just to get started, because once you do get started and you see a couple of months down the road, you'll be surprised. You'll start seeing some wins in there, and that spurs you on. So do leave a comment below. Likewise, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click that subscription button. Please press like as well. But until then, keep well, keep safe, and I'll see you in the next video.